Everybody, we're going to go ahead and start rounding up pigs and going to start previewing them. If you want to kind of make your way up front. And then Gumbo's also ready. And so we're going to start the preview here in 5-10 minutes. So. All right, here, thank you everybody for coming, and we're gonna go ahead and start this preview. We're gonna bring in Roost Livestock into the ring with 2 litter mates. There'd be 3 litters. The litter mate Gilt is 3-5, and litter mate Black-Headed Bear there is 3-1. They would be Stingers, Never 14 Spirits. That Never Before sow they bought as a bred purchase from us this fall. She would has some good ones for us. There's a Gilt down in Louisiana right now that's gearing up for district that looks real good. So excited about what Roosters have to offer here.
Seen the Roost kid and family grow up here in the past couple years exhibiting pigs for Kyle. Pretty excited to see them try to start raising some pigs on their own. And it's really impressive that they bring out 2 of this quality right off the bat. The black-headed one, we'll start with that one. Crazy neck, tall-shouldered, really big forearmed. Obviously the Stinger stuff works extremely well on Kyle's sows and has so far. You just look at that one's foot spread and quality up front. He's really good in his pasture, and he's dense in his bone work. That thing's flat in his joints, hard-backed. Really, really neat one. That they come out and start with. We'll switch off to the chromed one, another one that just offers so much extension. That's a round-bodied, big-backed one that's got a lot of power behind, a lot of punch. Really good haired, one that just comes with all the extras, really neat colored, a really, really good pair for the Roost crew.
The next 2 we have coming in here would be 4-6 would be lot 56, pass the hat, roll call, role play. And then the other one in here would be lot 9, 4-2, pass the hat, role play.
We'll start with the one Nolan's on currently. You want to talk about a really good head shape. That thing's broad between his eyes, really good in terms of his jawline, laid back in his shoulder, the set to his front end, his angulation opened up in his chest width, and you want to talk about one that's extremely deep in his loin edge. That's a hard, fresh back in a little pig, really big hipped, loose skeleton, awesome body. There's not a whole lot of guesswork there. That one's just pretty solid everywhere, extremely good built, not much questions there. Just let that one progress as she comes, in a really, really good way to land there. One he brings out next, another one that we just talk about density and skin and hair quality, extra hair, shag, extremely loose skeleton. Looks a lot like the other one just in terms of a really deep loin edge, a fresh kind of shape, a round body. One that, again, there's not a whole lot of guesswork there. That one's built for speed, built for the long haul, has the chest width, has the body shape. A really nice pair again for the Roost guys.
Thank you, Roost Livestock, for bringing up 4 very good pigs. Excited to have you. Next crew we have coming in here, Traddles Livestock. They need no introduction. They've been on a good run the past few years, and they bring us 2 gilts that they're awfully proud of. The belted gilt is B Lot 10, 18-10, track record, nothing compares. The white is Lot 43, 14-10, sleep tight, provoked.
Obviously, the Traddles crew certainly needs no introduction. A firm that's been just on an absolute tear. I've benefited from these guys extremely well. We got a couple sows laid back from them that have done just an incredible job. And when you start talking about sows and show gilts, you look at these 2 pair of gilts, and 2 that are just absolutely unrivaled in terms of their extras. We'll start with that belted gilt, one that you just absolutely have to gravitate towards in terms of her head shape, the tightness to her neck. Then you get on top of her, and she just lays back such a wide shoulder blade set. She's incredible on the top side of her skeleton. Long hipped, big-ended, thick, square, stout. One you're extremely high on, and then you look at her pedigree and track record. Obviously a boar that was lost too soon and has done just an exceptional job. But pedigree alone's got to get guys excited on that one. Look at her quality, what she represents, and the firm she comes from. That one better be on a short list and at the very top of it. White one that comes out, one that's as we'd like to call a little whippy neck. That thing's tall-shouldered, crazy-necked, really loose skeleton. This one moves a lot faster than Mason does, I promise you that. Extremely good-bodied, one that's so loose skeleton. Fresh in her skin and hair, and then you add in that light cross division. One that's certainly got to be exciting for that. That one takes out a whole lot of guesswork. Incredible on her front feet, incredible in her angulation. One that obviously I would expect to come with some blue, but I don't really care about her color because even showing a white one in that light cross deal is going to stick out like a sore thumb. Got hair, got look, really good pair for the Traddles crew to bring out.
Thank you, Traddles Livestock, for bringing a very good pair of gilts. The next one we got, consignment we got coming in is Littlefield Livestock. He brings a trio of them. The spot gilt would be lot 32, 9-10, unlimited smoke rings. That smoke ring sow just would have raised the champion spot gilt down in Perry. And then that gilt went on to be 5th overall in the CPS ring. Very excited for him to bring us that one. The belted male pig is lot 50, 1-1, track record backdrop. And then the next one is lot 7, sleep tight, back on top.
We'll start here with the sleep tight pig that Littlefield brings us, and another crew that's just been on an absolute run and done an extremely good job. And this one is another one, just skin and hair quality, foot size, comfortability at the ground is just second to none. That's a great head shape. Another one that's just so tight in his throat latch. He transitions back, bold in his blade. He's square at the ground. That's not one that deviates in funnels. I mean, that thing's ready to rock coming at you right now. That's a really good shape up high. That's a round body and an awesome hip length. And a little weird quirk that always gets me excited. That thing's point of his tail ports right back straight towards his ears. Just makes him look like he's bound for a big ring. That one's really neat and really fun to look at with a cool Michigan color on him. The spot over here is one that's just absolutely wild looking. That one's tall at the point of her shoulder, slings her neck high on the top side of her skeleton. One that's just, again, so wide and broad and round-bodied. One that looks like he has a lot of future, especially for that spot breed. That thing's flat-crested, tall-shouldered, and that thing's ready to rip. Round-bodied, again, one that's just so comfortable there at the surface. One that ought to be on a short list and pretty high on the top of that. The next one's this belted one. That's another one you talk about just being broad and dense and stout. I would deem that one more of a big ring type of deal. One that looks like he could be fun in the backdrop at about 280 to 270, somewhere in there. That's a really good muscle shape. That's a really good body shape. One that just got such feedable pieces. His head shape and extension, his proportionality from the side, extremely good trio that Littlefield brought out.
Next consignments we got coming in is Landon Clayball and Clayball Genetics. He brings us the pair of littermate crosses. Would be lot 13 and lot 53. 13 is 3-5. That's the dark cross belted male pig. And then the gilt is lot 53, 3-6. They would be Landmans, LL51s. And then the spot is lot 31, 2-2, unlimited toxic.
Another good trio of them out here. And the belted one there in the middle of the ring, I'll be the first to say that he's a little greener from behind, but he looks like he could handle a feed bucket extremely well. He gets just a shot flatter there behind, and I mean that in no disrespect because I actually like the positive upside of that thing. He looks like he can absolutely break loose, give that thing a little 6'11" and explode, and it looks like it's going to be off to the races. Fat bones, good head, big legs, and extremely hairy. Spot comes out next, and one that's just really good look, and you get on top of that one, and it's an absolute creature in terms of his back shape, the width of his skeleton up high, and transitions into an absolute monster of a hip. One that tracks wide, tracks square, comes and goes, extremely comfortable. A really, really good spot gilt to come out next. The Calico, the one that comes next, is another extremely dense, hairy one. That's a dark pigmented, good skinned one that's just built so comfortable there at the surface. I was kicking them out through the back there this morning, and this pig really caught my eye just with her added look, her presence, her proportionality. One that looks like she's not going to get you in trouble anywhere, just determined on however you want to feed that one and your approach to it, but one that looks like she can handle a lot and handle a lot of gas and show often and wherever you want to end. Extremely good trio.
All the next ones we got coming in here are Hamilton Show pigs. Good buddy Nick and Abby brought us a really good 4 of them to, this go around. Nick's Berks need no introduction. Absolutely love feeding them, and they always react to feed really well. The 5-5 is lot 24. It's a ball and chain to the moon. And then lot 38. Lot 38 is an upward. Top it off.
Like Kyle said, the Hamilton crew obviously needs no introduction in terms of their Berkshires. And Nick, is this one the upward or the ball and chain? Nick's ball and chains have been extremely popular, sold extremely well this fall. Those pigs were just fat boned and honestly looked a lot like that pig right there. One that just looks like they're going to feed, looks like they're going to be in it for a while. Extremely good bodied, good looking, stout skulled. And then for the Berks, I mean, sometimes them things just want to get a little bunchy muscled, and that one's really smooth in his muscle pattern. Looks like he's going to get it long term, and looks like he's going to be really fun to have there in the barn. One that you're just really excited to see every day in his pen waiting to get that feed bucket dumped in. The next one, the upward pig. The upward pig, you want to talk about one that has the added extension up front. A really good look from the profile. He slings his neck high, the top side of his skeleton. That thing's forearm and rear leg is extremely dense, extremely stout. One that's just so broad-chested and round-bodied with still a really fresh shape and a sleek look up high. Extremely good pair that Hamilton brought out.
And that bear we just got done talking about, 2-3 there, his mom just raised 5th overall Division II at down in Perry, and then that gilt got on a pretty good swath through the Florida jackpot circuit. She ended up being champion purebred down there in Florida on the circuit. So very predictable Berks there. The next 2 coming in are a pair of litter mates from Hamilton's. There would be lot 6 is the gilt. She would be 4-7, and lot 38 is the barrow. They would be stingers, heavy hitter, rusty cage, never before. The grandma would be a mate to the Chubbs barrow. The Martins family had a grand barrow there at Indy a few years ago. I know he secured this one's these two's mother from the Sloan firm, and she's kind of started really put a dent in his crossbred program. So we're really excited to have these 2 crossbreds from Hamilton Show Pigs.
If you haven't heard of the Chubbs bear that wins Indiana that the Goss crew raised a couple years ago, you're living under a rock. And good news, these pigs' grandma is a mate to that pig that wins Indy there a couple years ago and did it really, really handily and really fun. This gilt is really, really unique. That thing she's been extremely popular on Facebook. I seen her picture the other day, and I called Nick. I was like, "Hey, man, are you sure you really want to do this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think I probably need to let a few go." This thin-belted gilt, she's unique. That thing is fat-boned, extremely dark pigmented, really, really loose skeleton, huge feet. That stinger thing's been extremely popular for both of these boys. to the left of me, and that one represents all the positive intangibles that these guys have flourished with those. One that's just so unique from the side, one that looks like she's hard to make, one that just brings so much positives. That's the one I'd have on the short list for sure with a couple stars next to. Male pig's another one that's just so broad and dense and stout. Looks like a big ring type of pig, one that obviously could jackpot often early and for a long time, and then end up there in the middle of July in at the MLE Livestock Expo. One that's just so unique. That thing's foot spread, is toe quality. Extremely good pair there from Hamilton. Congrats, guys, on a good set.
Next entry we got coming is from Accommodity Show Pigs. It'd be lot 12, 1-2, intended expensive taste.
Another one come out there from Accommodity, and one that's just, we start at the front end of that thing's skeleton in her design. One that's just so sharp up front. That's a really good head. That thing's got a lot of density and broadness between her eyes. And transition that back. She's still tight in her neck. She's flat in her crest. And that thing opens up high with an ample amount of shape and power. One's round-bodied and thick-ended and really big boned. One that's just so fresh in terms of her skin, the way her tail head sits on top of her hip. That thing certainly looks like she has a bright future. Extremely good type of gilt there from Accommodity.
Next two we have in are from Ogle Genetics, a very good friend, mentor. He was like a dad to me in college. Worked for him down there when I was down at Lakeland, and still very close with the Ogle crew. And was very fortunate he set up two barrows that he's awfully proud of. 18-1 would be lot 14, Test of Time, Trick Daddy. That would be the one Landon's on. And then lot 45 is 11-1, Outlaw Messiah. Would be the one Piper's on.
Yeah, absolutely. Ogle's been on a really good run here. Seen his pair of pigs last night at the Kingpins there in Lebanon, Indiana. Extremely good pair and sold extremely well to really good homes. You dropped this pair in, and I was pretty excited to see these after the set I seen last night. We'll start with this Outlaw Messiah pig that Piper's on. Obviously got a little road rash there on his hip, but past that, you just look at that thing. It's just presence from the profile. It's such a unique look. That's a really broad head. That pig looks like he's not a quitter. He looks like he's going to keep going. Extremely dense and stout, comfortable there behind. Little rawer and greener in terms of his body. What I would tell you guys, though, you got to remember these got hauled from central Illinois in the -5-degree weather. So they're probably just not flourishing, which I got a setback here too. They were on the same trailer that might not be as well, but I would have all the confidence in the world on bidding on those pigs, having faith in their upside and their feedability. Firms like that definitely don't bring out stuff that they don't have faith in. That is one certainly I'd have a lot of faith in, especially sire-wise, mom-wise, has been really good. This Test of Time Trick Daddy, Test of Time boar, is extremely unique and has a whole lot of value and presence there that stands at crossroads. Pair him up on that Trick Daddy sow, and obviously you're going to get all the bone look and back shape that you could ever dream of, and this thing handles that extremely well. That is one broad, dense, stout, skulled one. You get on top of that thing's skeleton. His shoulder blade is extremely wide. He comes at you huge in his chest, fresh shape, big hip, thick-ended. His just presence and quality from the side and the profile, he just poses up with an absolute striking look in his silhouette. Extremely good pair from Ogle.
Next four we got coming in the ring are from Warner Livestock. He's gonna run the barrows first. Lot 8 is 10-8, the belted one. In the middle of the ring there, be Brute Force Safe Word. And then lot 39, 10-9, Brute Force Safe Word.
A really good pair from Tristan. This belted pig right here, if that thing's look don't catch your attention, then I don't know what does. That thing is sharp, sharp up front. That thing's tight-necked. He's flat, flat right behind his ears and his cheek, and just so comfortable there on the ground, obviously, as he trots across the ring. That thing is really good bodied. I really like that pig. He's got a lot of really neat intangibles. One that's just so stout, so hard to create, and one that just looks like he's going to keep coming. He looks like he's going to feed extremely well. He looks like he's going to progress and never shut down on you. That's another one that I think a guy could jackpot there early and often, and be extremely comfortable there come middle of July, and maybe even farther past that at MLE. Extremely good one come from Tristan. This black-white socked one, he's extremely fun to look at. I'd be lying if I tell you that he didn't kind of dominate his Penn contemporary, and just in terms of overall mass. That thing is huge-bodied and huge-hipped and stout-legged. That's a broad, dense head. And honestly, it's a pair of pigs that are kind of contrasting their differences and contrasting their advantages. But this thing still has a lot of fun things to look at, a lot of fun things to try to figure out in terms of as the summer progresses. One's just so wide and broad, and just so many fun things to mess with. That pig's going to be really fun to get dark with his color. He's got really good hair from behind, which I can't say that just turns the world upside down, but it definitely helps long term in a show ring. Extremely good pair here from Warner Livestock.
The next two we have coming in are the pair of littermate gilts. They would be lots 44, and that's 10-5. That would be the, that's her, right? Yeah. The crazy colored one up here in the corner, and then the belted one would be lot 55, 10-4. That safe word sow way back in the day, she was, I think that was in 20, she was third overall, Division II gilt. And I also like to mention that on this this deal.
This skunk face gilt that Tristan's on, that thing is wide and broad and dense and stout, and whether your priority there's a show gilt, a breeding gilt, market gilt, or even a sow, I think there's a lot of versatility there. I think there's a lot of power there, and I think you can go a lot of different ways with that thing in many of different endpoints. One that just look at her from the side, her sweep to her lower line's incredible. That thing is flat back, she's good hipped, she's ready to rip in terms of her shape, her body, her mass, but one that certainly has a lot of upside, a lot of future. She's not threatening anywhere, but she is ready to go, and that one's pretty neat and brings forth a lot of just stout, wild intangibles that could give a guy a lot of versatility. The dark pigmented white belted gilt is another one that you would just start off with in talking extras. The added extension up top, the added extension just on top of her shoulder blade and how she slings her neck out of there, the hair, the back shape, all the fun stuff to look at. But break her down, and that thing is just so comfortable there in terms of her ankles. She's awesome in terms of her pastern set. She's laid back and correct in the angle to her shoulder. One that's just built right at the ground. Couple that with her extra muscle, her body shape, and her look and presence. Not a whole lot can go wrong there. Extremely good pair of gilts there from Warner Livestock.
Next we have in the ring Mason Hartman Show Pigs. Very excited to have Mason back up here. It'd be lot 15, 17-4. Standing still, quite frankly, cracker, goosebump sister. That standing still bores that top cut, and I've seen quite a few pigs in Louisiana out of that bore this past go around this fall when I was down there visiting the family, and those pigs are going to mature very well. So I would look in here. I think he can be a really good contender come MLE time.
I don't know anybody that studies pedigrees and sow lines more than Mason, and he puts a lot of pride into it. He tells me more about the sows I have in my house than I even know. And so when this kid brings a pig out to a live sale, it's by no accident. There's a reason of how they're bred, and they are put together for a reason and for one one major end goal, and that's to be extremely successful there at the end point. And I would tell you, looking at this pig, he has all the intangibles of what one looks like and needs to look like, in my opinion, as an extremely competitive one there through the summer. That thing's hair, his foot size, his forearm, and then you look at his skull shape. That's just unreal. That is a broad, dense-headed one. He is incredible in his look up front. He's awesome as he comes at you in his chest floor. That thing's toe spread up front is square, it's wide. Then you transition there back and you watch him cross the ring. Just one that's so flexible and loose out of his skeleton. Awesome in his hip length. Extremely, extremely good one that Mason brought out. One that certainly has a lot of upside and an extremely bright future.
The next we have coming in the ring is a pair of Herefords from Schultz Livestock. There'd be lots 25, 5-5, that is the gilt. And then lot 26 is the Barrow 5-2. There'd be Blue Chews, patent pending. The Barrow last night, after the Walton preview, we looked at him a little bit more. He's got a hernia in his sheath. We're going to guarantee him. I talked with Schultz about it over the phone. We're going to guarantee him and make sure he gets fixed up, but he won't leave until he's fixed. So be sure to look in here, guys.
Obviously, Schultz is no stranger to the Hereford game in Michigan and everywhere else across the country. One that's been extremely successful in that ring and brings out two, and I understand they're a little smaller, but we talk about ones that are just absolutely crazy up front. They're crazy in terms of their build, wild, wild hair. I'm not saying the pigs themselves ain't crazy either. They're a little fast, but it matches their pieces and their show-winning quality, I would say. That thing's flat-backed, he's round-bodied, really, really just loose skeleton, look like they'll feed, and I'm talking the pair of them because they're both extremely similar. Gilt male, I think you can go a lot of different ways with the gilt, whether you show her as a market gilt, a breeding gilt. That thing can obviously stretch for a while and show her there for a very, very long time. Male pig, another one that just obviously he has that belly rupture, but past that, one that's just so good looking. He's hairy, he's comfortable. That thing's set back in his shoulder, and he's really good in terms of his chest and knee, and that's where I would kind of pick on the breed as a whole, and that's where I'd say these are really good for the breed, is as they come at you and they leave you. Ones that are extremely comfortable and square, and the ones that look like they have an extremely large upside and a really bright future. Good pair from Schultz.
And this sow behind these two, she was the mother of the 5th overall Hereford Gilt at Expo in 25, 5th overall Hereford Gilt at the Illinois State Fair Junior Show in 25, and then the champion Hereford Gilt at the Coin, and then the grandma's $8,000 champion from Summer Type in 23 from Grady's that he secured. So proof in the pudding with the Herefords. The next consignments we got coming in are from Stoller Livestock. Keaton and Hope do a very good job, and awfully excited to have Keaton back up here. The gilt that Mason's on would be lot 11, 1-7, be a Surrender Blackjack. And then the other one is, that one's not?
They're mates.
It'd be a mate. No, this one would be a 3-liter, 3-2 Surrender Roll Call Kingpen.
Yeah, we sent 4 of them up here, and the pair that are out here in the ring, this 1-8 gilt that the Traddles kid's on, is one that we've always really liked, just in terms of her crazy extension up front, her skull shape, and her just ability to still be green there in terms of her center body, but also be good in terms of the lower portion of her sweep. She's really good in terms of her spine length. She's flat back. That one's comfortable. She's really hairy. We got a lot of faith in that one. Think she has an extremely bright upside. one that's just so fun to look at from the side, one that's just going to keep progressing as the days go on and longer on feed. This male pig is another one that we really, really like. We absolutely love her mom. We have not sold many gilts out of that sow. Actually, our buddy Mason that was just in here bought one out of my last sale. There was a letter made to him. And when you talk about one that's just so round-bodied and so comfortable in terms of his skeleton, that's where we really, really like this one. You see that thing pose up from the profile. It's just absolutely incredible in terms of his look. Really, really big in terms of his front forearm. We really, really like this pair. Two that are probably different in their type and kind just a little bit, but two that we think we have certainly a lot of faith in.
The painted up one's 1-1, isn't it? Painted up one's 1-1. Okay. Lots 51 and 52 coming in would be ear notch 1-1, the one painted up one here in the middle that Mason's on, and then the belt would be 1-8 surrender blackjack.
We'll go ahead and start with the pig that Mason's on here, that chromed up one. Obviously that thing is has obvious quality from the side just in terms of his added extension. That thing is crazy whippy neck. He slings his neck high on the top side of his skeleton and just poses up with an absolute killer look from the profile. I think he's got a pretty cool color on him as well. That thing's fresh backed. He's really, really round in terms of his body shape and extremely good. They're just at the surface. One that's just comfortable. Looks like he can go for a very long time. One that just needs probably cracked open long term and just got an extremely bright future. One that we really, really like a lot. The gilt there in the center of the ring, that is a woofy-bodied, woofy-backed, big-hipped one, thick-ended. Not really a whole lot of guesswork there. I'd say she kind of is what she is in terms of just an absolute power animal. That one's wide over the top side of her skeleton, huge in her upper cage, huge in her hip. One that's just so comfortable at the surface. Another good pair that I do like a great deal.
Next one we got coming in is from Brett Golf, Golf Select Swine Genetics, and really got the opportunity to know Clay and Taylor very well. And they've this summer spent a day picturing pigs with me, and then Clay hopped in the truck and he rode down with me to Texas. And so really happy to have Clay and Taylor and Brett Golf up here with a gilt that I think is going to get better every single day. And come July or August, I think that one's going to be really fun to look at.
Yeah, another one that you just love. Just start up front, and you just love the shape to her skull, the shape to her face. And that's a big, wide, square shoulder blade in one that's just so good in terms of her shoulder angle, her angulation to her knee. She's rocked up on her pastern. That's a really good round body, fresh backed one. And like Kyle said, one that's just going to continue to get better. One that just doesn't look like she's going to quit or stall out at any time. One that has certainly a bright future and one that's pretty cool in her tail set. Really, really like this gilt from Goff.
Lot 16, 82-1 was just the golf entry. Get real, three's a crowd. Lot 5 would be Jaworski show pigs. Would be ear notch 6-7 clout backdrop. Excited to have Nate up here. He brought us a trio of gilts.
Obviously, the Jaworski crew definitely doesn't need no introduction. One that really shook things up last year and had an incredible run last summer, and they dropped this gilt out in the ring, and you actually just got to fall in love with this thing. Her look, her presence, that thing's build, her bone. Other than her attitude, that thing is really, really fun to look at. That thing's big-hipped and really fresh up high. She's flat crested and tall shouldered. We got an incredible look from the side. And again, another one that I think a guy can go a lot of different directions with in terms of market gilt, breeding gilt, sow prospect. Just a lot of ways you can go. Really wide show window on where she can end up, where she can fit. Extremely good one there from Jaworski.
Next two we have coming in would be lot 36, 6-4, clout backdrop. Would be the one that Griffin's on there. Then the one that Nate's on, the thin belted one, she would be lot 40, 6-6, clout backdrop.
6-6 is the wide belted gilt here in the center, so we'll just go ahead and start with her. That's another one that's just got all the intangibles of just represents a lot of quality. Really good look. That thing is hairy, comfortable, round-bodied, awesome skin and hair. That thing is square. She's flat-jointed as she leads you with a really, really large rear leg. Extremely nice one in there, a wide belt. That's 6-6. Lot 40. The thin belt one is 6-2. The pair is, these are clouts backdrops. And then look at that one, just pose up from the side. Her look, her added quality, that one's tightness to her neck and cheek, comes and goes so comfortable, so flawlessly, and so effortless. One that just looks like she's going to continue to progress. And at this stage right now, I don't really know how much more she needs to continue and come, because I certainly wouldn't call that one green. I'd say she's right in terms of her body shape, her intangibles, her hip length, her look. That one's extremely good, extremely comfortable. Really good pair of 6-liter gilts here from Jaworski.
And the thin belt is lot 36. First one's coming in the ring. We're going to start off with Ruggles entries here. We're going to start off with the purebreds. It would be 20-3 and 20-2 is the big barrow that Piper's on, and 20-3 is lot 22, the smaller one in here.
We'll go ahead and start with the big one that Piper's on there in the middle of the ring. Another one, especially for a red, one that actually has some hip length, he actually has some bone, and he actually uses his hock right. That one sets down comfortable on his ankle. He's square hocked. He's wide and comfortable there from behind. One that certainly should have quite a few stars on a buying list, just because he looks like he's going to be really fun to feed. He's going to be really comfortable all summer. Looks like he can go the long haul, last the duration of the time, and end up there in middle of July at MLE and be really, really competitive. I'll go off to this next small one here that Piper's on. Another one that you just want to talk about, just upside and balance and proportions and what he could look like in the middle of the summer. We'll start with him now and just say that how wild he is up front and how good his hip is, how square he is from behind, how square he is coming. One that has some body shape, and one that doesn't leave a whole lot of question marks, but one that I would venture to say is just going to continue to progress in everything that we just listed that we like about him now. I would say just get bigger, stouter, faster, and stronger. Extremely good pair of reds for Ruggles here to start off with. Really, really good set.
Lot 22 is a small one. That would be 20-3. And then lot 20-1. Let's see here. 20-2 is lot 65, the bigger barrow. Switch me sides so I can see your notches. Next two we have coming in the ring is lot 20-3, ear notch is a small barrow. here, and then 20-4. 20-4 would be lot 27, and 20-3 is lot 22. 20-1 is lot 28.
We'll go ahead and start off with this 20-3 that Piper's on, and that cherry-colored one comes out and slings his neck up front and gets your attention there pretty quick. That's a round-bodied, chubby-centered one that from the profile is just absolutely fun to look at. That's a really good foot shape and absolutely incredible rear leg. That thing has some bend and flex and reach from behind. One that looks like he can gravitate towards the top on an A-list there pretty fast. I know he's on the top of mine. That thing is interesting. He's huge in his chest. He's really good and square in his knee. And I would say where the breed probably struggles, that one exceeds. You study him from his back to 1/3 and one that's just so good there from behind. Extremely good red male there from Ruggles. The 20-1 that comes out is another one that's just absolutely whippy neck. That thing's big-footed. I'd say he's a shot more greener there in terms of his shape from behind and his stifle shape. But one, if you compare him back to his litter mates, I wouldn't question that he gets it. I would say that continues to come and does so pretty handily. That one's short-bodied and round-centered and chubby-centered. His lines are good. He's flat-backed. He's good hip. Extremely good pair of reds there from Kyle.
Next we have coming in the ring would be our Yorkshire consignments. We have another one coming down the line a little bit later. The bigger barrel coming in would be lot 30. The one Piper's on, he would be 23-4 Agenda Tycoon, and then 23-2 is lot. Go ahead and start talking.
Really good set of Yorks here from Kyle, and a breed that I've always been particular on, and Kyle actually has kind of dogged on there pretty hard, but he got married and she liked white ones, so they stayed around. And I say, Mallory, you did a pretty good job here. We'll start with the big one there in the center of the ring. Another one that, honestly, for the breed, that thing's pretty hard to put together. He's hard to make, but really easy to feed. Really comfortable build. That thing's green behind, but he'll get it, I promise. That's a really good front foot. That's a really good shoulder angulation. That's a flat crest, one that looks like he's not going to wear out on you. He's not going to get big crested. He's not going to break down on his feet, and he's not going to be too fat long term. That one looks like he has a lot of pieces, a lot of futuristic parts, and a really good way to move up. We'll jump onto this really crazy neck, crazy looking one that comes out next. You want to talk about just an absolute wild looking purebred Yorkshire from the profile. That one is a shot greener in his forerib. He's a shot greener in the upper portion of his rib cage and the turn up high. But I like green, and green usually succeeds there if managed right, and that thing is fun. From the profile, he's got all the show-winning intangibles in terms of look, bone, balance, and build, and then that thing just gets bigger, faster, and stronger as the days wear on. I'd say that pair of Yorkshires ought to be at the top of the list, especially for some purebred buyers.
23-2 would be lot 21, the smaller barrel we finished talking about there. The next trio we have coming in, there'd be all litter mates, 9 litters. 9-4 would be the big barrel Piper's on right now. He would be lot 46. Stride for stride last minute. Lot 37, 9-5, the belted gilt. She's also stride for stride last minute. And then lot 18, 19-2, is be lot number 18.
I don't know what Kyle's best one is back there, but this one's pretty fun. That thing is stout. He's shaggy, swaggy, he's ready to rip. That is an awesome head. That's an awesome angulation to his shoulder. And that thing, size-wise, fits so many different holes, so many different windows on where he can end up. I'm not guaranteeing you where he goes and where he stays in terms of in point, but that thing can range from MLE to a lot of different state fairs, a lot of different endpoints of county shows. That thing's pretty fun. He better be on the top of your list with a couple stars, if not all of them. We'll move on to his pin mates that need some action as well. This Gilt here, and that's another one. You just look at her from the side and you got to be pretty impressed with her look, her head shape, the freshness of her skeleton up high, and the way it just transitions into the center portion of her body. Her body cavity is so round and so chubby and so correct. Look at her forerib, it's pretty bold there, and transitions back in the right kind of sweep and the right kind of curvature. Extremely good gilt there in 9.5. This bigger male pig here is another one that you ought to gravitate towards. That thing is crazy from the profile, just with his big pieces and his big intangibles, and to still be that fresh-headed, that fresh-looking from the side is extremely impressive. Kyle has done an awesome job with this set of pigs, and this pin highlights that extremely well. A trio of them that are extremely fun to look at. They'd be extremely fun to feed, extremely fun to show. Really good pin here from our G3.
The next three we have coming in here, we're going to start off with the belted one there. That would be 3-8. He'd be a mindset modern day. He'd be lot 35.
9-8 here coming out right from under. That's another one, and I'd say he resembles a... or 3-8, excuse me. That's another one that resembles a lot of what we've already talked, and I want to highlight that is just a consistency in the form of set that Kyle has put together. Very similar, and for the quality and the success he's had in the ring, that is something he strives for, is to make as many good pigs as he can, and as many feedable ones as he can. And I would say this set highlights that as well as anything that he's sold so far. And then you just break this pig down. His rear leg, his range of motion, his awesome pastern set, his really good foot quality should all highlight extremely high quality livestock. And then you couple that with just his big ring kind of flash and flare in terms of his forearm, his head shape. Extremely good pig here to lead off with in this pin in 3-8.
The next two we have coming in, there'd be litter mates. Lot 61 would be a 3-2. He's a misnotch. He's a water to wine, play it cool. And then the big bear that just did a tumble roll right there, he'd be lot 67, 2-1, water to wine, play it cool.
Big one, we'll start with him. That one obviously has got a lot of size variation on where he ends, where he goes. I definitely think that's one you could have ready to rock and roll early, but also make it to that middle of July part, no problem at all. That one is really good from the profile. He is short-backed, he's chubby-bodied, he's big-footed, he's big-chested. That one just takes a lot of guesswork out of it, and that one is extremely comfortable there at the surface. We'll slide off to this wider-belted, white-tailed one, and another one that probably just gets out-woofed and out-powered by his contemporaries in this group of them. But don't sleep on that guy. That thing is crazy-looking. He's really good pigmented. He's huge-footed, extremely comfortable there from behind. That thing just needs more days on feed, and I think whoever ends up with that one is going to be extremely happy. He's the sleeper of the sale out of Kyle's set, is one we've seen so far. I wouldn't let that one go by.
Next two we have coming in the ring is lot 63 would be the one that Piper's on right there is lot 68, 2-7, water wine, play it cool. And then the littermate gilt right here is 2-12, lot 63, water to wine, play it cool.
Another pair of them that are obviously litter mates, and they look like mates, built like mates, and that's extremely good because they offer so much quality. Just in terms of study them things from the profile. We're built right at the ground. We're really comfortable there in our center body cavity. We're really good in terms of our muscle shape up high. One that looks like they're just going to be extremely good all throughout the duration of the summer, that can handle a lot of heat, handle a lot of power, ones that can just continue to keep going. We'll go here to Nolan's pig, that one that's got the dot in the middle of her belt. One that you just got to appreciate so much about. That one square coming and going, wide and powerful, extremely good in terms of her look. Extremely good in terms of her look up high and up front. A really good pair there of 2 litter gilts there from RG3. Ruggles Genetics.
Next 3 we got coming in would be the rest of the littermate gilts in the offering today. Lot 69 is 2-10. That would be the middle one there, belted gilt. She'd be lot 69, 2-10. The one Nolan's on right here would be lot 62. And then the -4, the other gilt in here would be lot 58, 2-4, water to wine.
This is the most gilts I've ever seen Kyle sell in my life, but he did just build a new gilt grower barn, and now he's letting go of all of his gilts. So I say we need a set to pay for the barn, but I'm sure glad he did, because these things, they just keep coming and offer so much quality. This one that Nolan's in the middle of the ring, that thing's unique. I mean, just flat out crazy from the profile. Her head shape, her neck length, that one is dense and broad up front. Get on top of her, and she is just an absolute man-child in terms of her back shape, her width up high, her thick hip. That's a very, very big rear leg. And then to add on top of that, that thing is hairy. She is extremely loose skeleton, extremely good pig there. To start off talking this pin, that is 2-9. 2-9 there. The one that Nolan's on now there in the middle of the ring, that's the big woofy short-backed one that's tricked out in terms of her pieces. Huge feet, round bodied, and really dense and short and moderate there in terms of her spine length. One that just looks like she can have a whole lot of fun this summer, and again, end up at so many different endpoints. That one that Piper's on definitely gets dominated in this class in just terms of maxed out, ready to go 2-day power, but I wouldn't sleep on that one, because she might get them in the end. Talk about one that's tall-shouldered, good-looking, maybe just not as far along as the pin mates, but I sure wouldn't call this one green. I just wouldn't call her as much there yet as the other two. Extremely good trio of gilts, really good set from Ruggles.
The next 2 we have coming in, lot 47 would be the belted pig there that Pipes on, 3-2, mindset modern day, and then lot 33, 6-6, water to wine, the one that Nolan's on.
I've been waiting for this white one to come out. He just gives you kind of a deer in the headlights look when his neck takes 4 to 5 seconds to actually get all the way out of the gate. He is crazy up front. That is a long neck, short-bodied, stout, woofy pig that past that, we still talk about bone and denseness of skeleton, extremely loose, comfortable build. That's a long hip. That's a really good white pig that can show in them light cross division that's so new to your guys' show. One that just has so much versatility. Extremely good pig there in 6-6. The belted one Piper's on, one that Another one that's so unique up front. That's a hard shape up high. He's smaller, no doubt about it. But there's a lightweight and a middleweight division for a reason. And I've seen, especially here, all three of those divisions win this show and be extremely competitive there at the end of the day. If they're big enough to show, they're big enough to win. And I'd say that one definitely fits that mold, because if that one doesn't get you excited, man, we probably don't need to be looking at the same pigs. That thing is stout from behind. That thing is awesome up front. Good chest, really good in terms of his back shape and body. That one better be on a short list. Actually, the pair better be on a short list and put quite a few stars down there, and don't let those things slip by. A really good pair there from our G3.
The next two we have coming in would be littermates to the last two we just had in here. Lot 48 would be 6-4, the blue pig that Nolan's on there. Water to Wine, lead the way. And then lot 60, 1-3 would be a Mindset Modern Day. It is a misnotch. He's a littermate to the one before. Very excited about these two.
Drop out another one, a blue one that's mate to that one we just seen. And maybe I spoke too soon on getting real fired up on one of them light crosses. I think that one's good. I think this one excels in certain areas too. He just absolutely wild in terms of his bone work, his look, his presence from the side. That thing's spine length, his tightness of skeleton. That thing's flat backed. He's ready to go. I'm not going to lie. He's definitely greener in his upper rib cage, his upper forerib. But that thing has such a bright future. That thing's got obvious quality, hard to deny. They're coming and going from the profile. Really high on that blue pig there in the middle of the ring. And then we shift gears in terms of this dark cross. Another one that you got to absolutely love and fall in love with, his balance, his build, his proportionality, and then really break him down. And I don't really know where you pick a hole in him just because that thing is so good there at the surface. He's got big bones. He's got big hair. He's got really good look. He's really good in his body shape. Extremely good pair from Kyle.
We have in here lot 4 would be the one Nolan's on there. He'd be 10-1 Stinger past the hat. He does have an extra dew claw. It kind of snuck past us when I had Dr. Slater up here. We're going to get that removed. We guarantee him that'll be a simple surgery. And then his litter mate there is lot 20, 10-3 Stinger past the hat.
Another pair of Stingers there comes out, and woof. That thing is shiny from the profile. That 3-letter pig, he's just so unique there. His added quality, his added extension, looseness of skeleton, the way he plants and pushes out of his rear ankle, just so comfortable there. And then you just add all the obvious intangibles, rib, body, muscle. That thing's probably a must-buy. A really good pig there in the center of the ring that Piper's driving. This black-headed, black-hipped one that comes out next, that 10-liter, 10-3, that's another one that can go a long duration of this summer. And I'm not one here to tell you, like everybody else says, with the smallest one in a set, they're automatically state fairs. I don't necessarily know about that. It is still the end of January, and we got a lot of pigs to sell here. But I do think that one has a long show window, and extremely positive career there long-term. That thing is really good-headed. He's really good in his chest shape. He's really good in his body shape. Really break that one down. He has huge feet, and he's got a very big, dense rear leg. That's extremely good pig in 10-3.
He would be 10-3, lot 20. The next two we have coming in here would be lots 57 and 34. Lot 57 is the big gilt in there. Should be 12-3 Brute Force Step Bro. Step Bro is a boar that we had at the house here for a few years and used him a couple times, kept the keeper gilt out of him. This should be a first-time gilt, excited about her future. And then the little barrow there, it would be lot 34, 12-1, Brute Force Step Bro.
This pig that comes out here in the center of the ring honestly reminds me a lot of Step Bro, and some of those pigs that Kyle sold there in Texas. Had a few get along pretty well at Houston and did so because they come at you like this one. That is a really, really big chest. And he sets down so square. He's not a leg swinger. That one sets down true. He plants, he pushes. His rear leg sets where his front leg leaves. That one's got all the extra intangibles. Extremely good pig in that one that Piper's on here. Love that thing's front 2/3. His rear skeleton stout. Really, really fun one to go back here in the back of the barn and break down when you're trying to put your list together. Definitely won't let him slip through the cracks. Mate brother that comes out here. Mate brother that comes, or mate guilt, sorry. Mate sister that comes out here is another one that's just so much fun, just in terms of her lines from the profile. Love her head. You absolutely have to fall in love with her body design, her lower lines, her looseness of skeleton, and just her hard, fresh back, and just the way she plants around the ring with so much comfort and ease. And, I mean, she's absolutely effortless in the middle of here. Extremely good pair here at 12s from Kyle.
Lot next two we have coming in here would be lot 17, 1-3, be the one that Nolan's on there. And then lot 59, 1-2, the big calico barrow that Pipe's on.
Extremely fun pair to look at. I definitely wouldn't deem these too big because I would say these are right in the heat of the battle, as long as a lot of them other ones. But these aren't ones you're going to get to the middle of July and be like, man, we need to start shoving so we're big enough, because I promise you'll be sitting in a really good spot here. We'll just start with this belted one here in the middle of the ring. Watch that thing leave you, and it'll take your breath away. He is so stout. He's so comfortable. And then just start at the top end of his hip. That is a big square pin width. He transitions down flat in terms of the outer portion of his hip, but his turn to his stifle is so impressive. He plants true and square the whole time. He's flat in his joint. So good in terms of his body shape. He's awesome on his feet and legs. Add all the intangibles, the look, presence, bone, hair, muscularity. That one is extremely fun to look at. This calico one takes nothing away. Taking nothing away from the calico, we drop that thing in next, and you love that thing's look, his freshness up front. He's big chested, he's round bodied, he's huge in terms of his back shape, really hairy and just fun to look at presence. That one's got to be fun to kind of work on all summer, just with the added cool factor of things you can do with him the whole time. One that's just so comfortable, so correct. Extremely good pair of pigs here that Kyle brought out.
Coming in next, we got 23-3, lot 29, Agenda Tycoon. Would be the last of our Yorkshires in the offering.
Another purebred Yorkshire out here. Another one that Mallory did a really good job on. And I'd venture that she would probably tell you that these are her favorites in the whole entire sale. And rightfully so. These things are pretty good. One that's so good in terms of their feet and legs. Again, I mean, we want to hammer on feet and legs, but that matters at the end of the day, and it matters a lot. That thing's pasterns are perfect, especially for the breed. That thing's just so square, so comfortable, really good shaped and round-bodied. And that's another thing I keep iterating, but there's so many flat-bodied pigs, and that's where they get beat at the end of the day. And that thing is whiskey barrel ribbed, and just maybe a shot drier in terms of the forerib, but that'll break loose just with maturity. I would expect the extremely good Yorkshire barrow out here from Kyle.
Next two we have coming in here would be 4 litters. There would be beatbox slaps. Lot 2 is the blue pig that's in the ring here. It'd be 4-2. And then lot 29, 4-3, lot 49.
The blue pig, the beatbox, his ears kind of beatbox around here. But past that, that thing has fat legs. He's huge haired, awesome in terms of his shape. He's big in his pin width. That thing, I mean, you just got to gravitate towards him. There's no doubt about it. That thing can run in the big leagues for sure. He has all the intangibles of one that could get there and be extremely comfortable and make everybody else showing against him really uncomfortable about trying to get on him. That's one that everybody else in the barn is turning away cards in to get out of that pigs class. Extremely good one. The blue one there in the center of the ring. This belted one comes out, and he's no slouch either. That one's big armed. He's hairy. He's got a really fun, thick hair texture. That one looks probably just like a sleeper to me. Maybe not just the craziest up front, but one that looks like an absolute burner there in a big ring. One that's dense and stout and burly and ready to go. That was one that's never going to shy away anything from power because he is big hipped and hard shaped. Extremely good pair there from Kyle. Mark those down on the short list. A lot of stars next to them.
The next two we have coming in the ring would be lot 66 is a big gilt there, 1-5. She would be an outlaw heavy hitter. And then the other one in the ring is 64, 9-1, stride for stride, last minute.
The big gilt solo?
1-5, 66. Okay. Yeah, outlaw.
The big gilt there, the Piper's on the outlaw gilt, a boar that is young and new to the game, but one that certainly has a lot of quality. I've seen a lot of pigs out of him, and they've been extremely good and really consistent. And this one surely is no slouch, one that just travels, is so comfortable, and another one that offers just so much extension. And I truly believe that she's got a lot of different versatility between a market gilt, a breeding gilt, a lot of different endpoints there. One that's just really good there, and all around over totals quality. The pig that Nolan's on there in the center rings, another one you want to talk about extension, neck length, looseness of skeleton, awesome in terms of his range from behind. That's one I definitely marked down. That's one I think can handle the feed bucket and handle a lot of it. Really good pair of pigs here in Kyle.
We're gonna round out the preview with our last pen here. B lots 1 would be 8-4, the belted gilt that pipes on. Be tested time, playing tricks, next contestant. The half belted male pig there would be 8-1. He'd be a litter mate to that. He'd be lot 3. Those would be out of our mother of our high seller this past year and this past fall in Texas. That a very good home there in Texas found. Reports have been very good on him, and excited about these guys' futures. And then the last one in the pen here would be lot 19, 5-8, Thunder Rolls OG.
I feel like we should be playing the Bulls entrance right here because we got MJ, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman right there. We saved the best three for last. Pretty high on these three. I'm not saying they're the best three, but man, them things are cool. That one that's in the middle of the ring, that off-belted male pig, whoa. That thing poses up from the side. That thing is wild. He's short-backed. He's good in his height, his length ratio. So comfortable there from the side and so comfortable from behind. You get him behind him. That thing is flat-jointed and ready to rip. He's ready to rock. That's a very good pig in 8-1. Go to the gilt that Piper's on in the middle of the ring. She just travels the ring so effortlessly. Extremely good-looking, flat-crested, flat-backed, awesome lines, ready to rock. She's ready to rip, and that is an absolute monstrous rear leg in a belted gilt. Really good pig there from Kyle. You get this light cross out, and like so many of them others, you just want to talk about definitely a shot greener in terms of her body shape, and I don't think Kyle disagree with that at all, but I think you use that to a positive and use that to your advantage because that thing's just going to progress and get better. You talk about his look, his build, his looseness of skeleton, extremely bright future. really good trio of pigs out here that Kyle brought out. This will round out the set in the preview.
We got gumbo over here that my in-laws came up from Louisiana, and get your guys out some gumbo. We're gonna start the sale at 4. Welcome to come back, kick through pigs, talk with breeders, and have some fun.